Here are the menstrual cycle phases. 1. We have the follicular phase. Pre-ovulatory surge of luteal hormone affects a selected follicle. The oocyte matures, ovulation occurs, and the empty follicle begins its transformation to the corpus luteum. This follicular phase of the ovarian cycle varies in length from woman to woman. Almost all variations in ovarian cycle length are the result of variations in the length of the follicular phase. Next, we have the luteal phase, which begins immediately after ovulation and ends with the start of menstruation. This post-ovulatory phase of the ovarian cycle usually requires 14 days. The corpus luteum reaches its peak of functional activity 8 days after ovulation, secreting the steroids estrogen and progesterone. Simultaneously with peak luteal functioning, the fertilized ovum is implanted in the endometrium. If implantation does not occur, the corpus luteum regresses, steroid levels decrease, and the functional layer of the uterine endometrium is shed through menstruation. The cycles of menstruation. We have the shedding of the functional 2/3 of the endometrium is initiated by periodic vasoconstriction in the upper layers of the endometrium. The basal layer is always retained, and regeneration begins near the end of the cycle from the cells derived from the remaining glandular remnants or stromal cells in this layer. Next, we have the proliferative phase, which is a period of rapid growth lasting from about the 5th day to the time of ovulation. The endometrial surface is completely restored in approximately 4 days. From this point on, an 8 to 10-fold thickening occurs, with a leveling off of growth at ovulation. The proliferative phase depends on estrogen stimulation derived from ovarian follicles. Next, we have the secretory phase, which extends from the day of ovulation to about 3 days before the next menstrual period. After ovulation, larger amounts of progesterone are produced. Functional endometrium becomes apparent. At the end of the secretory phase, the fully matured secretory endometrium reaches the thickness of heavy and soft velvet. It becomes luxuriant with blood and glandular secretions, a suitable protective and nutritive bed for a fertilized ovum. And last, we have the ischemic phase, which is the blood supply to the functional endometrium is blocked and necrosis develops. The functional layer separates from the basal layer and menstrual bleeding begins, marking day 1 of the next cycle.